Let's start. Here we are rolling. Yeah, so maybe I introduce the work I do at Codarts first a little bit.
Yes.
So I received this research fund that I already told you, and the project reunites circus art, music, science, and society. You are part of the society. The information that you give me in the interview will be reflected somehow, some parts, in the artistic performance. The idea is that the performance will inform the audience about ecological awareness, about sustainability, how to think in a more green way, let's say. And we will use biomaterials or concepts in the performance also. So we will use the plants, but I can also use, for example, the genetic map of a plant to associate it with music. So different genes could be different instruments or stuff like that. This information I gather with from the biologists that I told you. So yeah, welcome. Thank you for accepting the interview. Let's go straight for the questions. Yeah. For the documentation purposes, maybe you'd like to introduce yourself also?
Yes.
Great.
My name is Kees Thielen. Wow, what shall I tell you? I studied in Delft architecture and and I did also some things with theater. So after finishing architecture, I started doing things with theater also. And I became also a director for theater. And I worked with Mieneke together in a small group which played for children. We did theater for children. And later on, when we got children ourselves, we became directors for theater and dance and managers for artistic things. We did a lot of projects. And at the end of my career, I worked for Codarts, which was a combination of architecture and art. So for me, perfect combination. Thank you.
Impressive background, yeah. Yeah.
My name is Mieneke. I studied theater and dance for some time. I feel very attached to dance because it brings me back into the body, and from the awareness of the body I give expression to the world. I like that very much. I met Kees in Rotterdam and we did a course on theater and dance, and we both had a dream of playing theater, so we fell in love and we had the same dream. So we became a theater group. We played for children, which Kees already told about. We did it for a long time. We have children from the 1990s, Peer and Hella. And in that period, we had no longer time to be that dedicated to going on the road and playing. So we started to be directors of theater projects and dance projects. And when we got older and our kids grew up and flew out, we thought when we were about 63, what else is there to do in the world? What would we like, which step would we like to take when now we are older and we've seen such a lot of things? And we got the idea of going to live outside in the country and being climate neutral and living an ecological life, eating from our garden, and live as natural and close to the earth and the world as possible.
And give space to
young artists to come here and be artists in residence. Because we like to follow young artists in their ontdekking, their
Growth.
growth, like we have seen ourselves grow into theater and dance projects. That's it for the moment.
Yeah, so wow, very beautiful background, and now you've seen such like a lot of things, and now you give back what you received. It's
We try.
Yes, we try to. Yes.
yeah, I think you succeed.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
yeah. For the first question, what is your definition of sustainability? And you can answer like you can answer or you can answer you decide. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm from the background of making spaces or architecture. So sustainability for me was very important to try and make in a sustainable way a house which is in itself very sustainable. So that's what we tried here. And also sustainability is the way we live or the way we look at the world or the way we act in the world. So to have a garden or to give back things that you get is also a sustainable way of giving the energy that you got back, just like you said just now.
And what you tell about living in a sustainable way is we have a wooden house, completely out of wood. And we live on the energy level on the electricity basis with a warmth pump. I don't know how it goes the other way.
Yeah.
And sun panels in the garden. And
we produce energy even. We don't use any. We produce. We give back to the electricity system 1,000 kilowatts per year.
Wow.
For now. And we drive our car also on this system. So we're completely neutral and we even give back. And we have planted trees, so we contain CO2. And yeah, we tried a lot.
it was completely flat when we arrived here.
Yep.
No trees, no vegetables, a few birds.
Yeah, a few birds.
Plants, no diversity on plants.
No.
So when we started to get the garden, and now we have a lot of trees, every year we're planting some trees more to get more diversity here.
You see that the birds, there are more birds in a few years already, because they have different, you see the diverse surroundings gives them possibility to be here. We have also like other animals which arrive here.
De egel,
Yeah.
de hazen,
Yeah.
de fazanten,
Yeah,
pheasants,
all the Dutch.
the
Dutch
hares.
Yeah.
The hares.
Egel,
pheasants,
I don't know it in English, so.
We buy as much as possible second-hand things, second-hand clothes. Because why buy new if second-hand is still okay?
Yes.
You told me this morning that what you wear now is second-hand. I didn't realize it, but it's true, yeah. This is also
second-hand. So, and what we try to do is, when people arrive here, sometimes we have people coming here to look at the house. We try to tell them about our way of life and what we like to express to them, that it is possible to live in a completely wooden house, and it is possible to live from things out of your garden, from the fruit out of the trees. But I think when you want to do that, you also have to realize that you try to live with less garbage. So you want to be careful, but with what am I buying, and how much garbage do I have every week? Can I make this lesser? Can I eat, drink, and buy more ecological, and also
produce.
can I find things to help the earth be living in a circular way and not only in I eat what I like and I put it in the garbage can and it goes out and I never see it again, but I put filth into the ground. So it means that we also try to live with an awareness of doing less instead of doing more.
In Dutch you say consuminderen. Consumeren is
Consume.
To consume
less,
is in Dutch
yes.
is consumeren, and meren is more in Dutch. And consuminderen is
Less.
consume less.
Okay, I get it. So your definition is that sustainability is a mindset and it's a lifestyle.
Yes.
It's not just some actions that you do, but it's something that you believe in and you then put into practice.
Yes.
I get it. And how did it become a big part of your life? Why did it become important to be sustainable? Because we are not born with this mindset, let's say.
In when we were young, this was not a problem at all. It was not in the mindset of people to talk about sustainability. This only appeared when we were about 17, because of the
18, yes.
because then already the discussion was on nuclear energy. Discussion was on the climate because of the things of Rome,
Club of Rome.
Club of Rome, yeah.
Club of Rome.
Yeah.
And then we were young and we were thinking, I speak for myself, I was thinking already about what am I eating? Should I be eating more in a better way? So I stopped already eating meat. So this was started already there, I think. Because of but you could notice then that the society was completely not ready for this idea. There was only a small group which was doing these kind of things. And then we tried already in our life to do this as much as possible. And now you see that we, at the end of our life, we had more possibilities to take a step like this. We already did, of course, make our house in Delft as much as possible sustainable. I tried to make buildings as much as possible sustainable, but society was not ready for this. But it's getting more and more and more ready, I think.
I can agree with what Kees tells you, because when it went with me the same way as with you when we were 17, apart from each other, because we didn't know each other, only 10 years later. I found a group of people who told me to make my own bread. And it was, I didn't know that at all. So I got into making my own bread, and then they taught me to eat no meat, to live in a macrobiotic way. It was very popular within a small group of people. And I thought, this is much better than I got used to from my home grounds. And I knew even in that time when we were together as a family, my brothers and sisters, my father and mother, and I said, no, I don't want to eat meat. They looked at me as if I was
crazy.
As if I was crazy. Nowadays you don't meet that at all, because people are used to people who don't eat meat, and even people who are vegan, etc. But at that time it was very peculiar, and they also had schisma. As if they were accused by me of being not good. I only wanted to show this is now my way of living. So, I think there started a flame of trying to live in a more sustainable, more circular, more healthier way than I was used from my hometown. And of course, when we met each other, we were not very rich. Then
Poor.
So it adjusted to being not very rich. Yes? But then we got more richer, and that's very nice. But we also had to watch, what are we going to do with the money we have now? How can we share this with other people? We are so lucky to have the fortune of growing in society instead of staying there. So, and then we got, I think, to the point of we can live in another way and invite people here. But I think in our 17th, the flame started.
Great. So it's something that started and followed all your life.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I'm also thinking about these things, and it didn't start until 1 or 2 years ago. But
Very good.
there are things that you can do in your situation. For example, in my situation, I can think about what I buy or what I eat. And then when I have the possibility, think about how to give back also.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and it can also be in a very small, little way.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be huge.
Yeah, I'm learning from you guys. Yeah. So the next question is, what brought you to Heinkenszand?
Yes.
Well, we tried to find an area where we could build this very sustainable house and live in a sustainable way. So we searched around Holland, different areas we went to. We had even a discussion with somebody who had a big area where she maybe would put some houses there, but this was very slow, so we stopped with that, and we drove around the country when we had a week off to look at different places. Very difficult, but eventually we found here, when we were here for a family meeting with Mieneke's family, we went to look at a house over there, 10 kilometers away from here. But that was also, there was already a house which you couldn't take down because it would be terrible to destroy something that you pay for. And then somebody from the family said, you should look over there. There's a piece of land that they sell. And then we saw this, and then we thought, okay, this has really big possibilities. And that's when we started to think about, can we pay this? How can we pay this? How will we do this? Is this possible? Can we survive with the money we will get when we are not working anymore? And we thought it could be done. It's very precise, so we are very good with making projects and being within the limits of money. Both of us, so we manage.
We spend a lot of money, a lot of time to get the
money thing ready.
The money thing ready,
Yeah.
And to accept, okay, we're going down in having money to spend, and to spend it on everything, but we're having a beautiful place to live in and do the things we want. So we accepted that, and then we got the budget round.
Nice.
We bought the place.
And is the whole village sustainable, or is it just you guys here?
Well, that's strange about this area. We are sustainable. There's a man and a wife living on the other side of the dike. Rut is also working, has a garden. They do with Mieneke together, buying seeds for the. And we brought them some of the compost. So we work together. And there is somebody, Arnold, who you talk to. His wife is also into her garden and into taking care of the birds and into. She's very much from de dierenpartij, hoe noem je dat? Waar zij Partij voor de Dieren, Party for Animals.
Okay.
She's from the Party for Animals.
Party for me.
So she's also thinking in a sustainable way, having the heater on 16 degrees and things like that. So,
there are some people around
some people are around us which are...
But I think we are here in the neighborhood, we are the farthest with...
Yes.
The
Most extreme.
Most extreme.
Yeah.
Yes.
We went around Heinkenszand to put flyers indoors because of the nuclear protest.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw then in an area in Heinkenszand that there was a lot of people having an electric car. I didn't know this.
Wow.
I didn't know. I didn't expect
positive.
it.
Yes.
It was very positive. Yeah. We thought in this area there was, maybe 30%. It was a high level. Mm. So this makes maybe Heinkenszand a little bit more sustainable than the rest of the world.
Cool.
No.
And you said that you gave some flyers. Tell me more about what's happening with the nuclear energy stuff over there.
There. We have one nuclear centrale plant there, and it was he was going to close at 2030, but now they are lengthening the period that he can stay open. Mm. And the government, the Minister of Climate, Rob Jetten, has decided to take Borselen, which is the place where the plant now stands, to make it as a location for 2 new plants, nuclear plants, bigger plants, within only a few 10 meters from nature space and dunes and the Westerschelde. And of course this is terrible for the whole environment. Maybe we get
cool towers, big
to
towers to cool the water from the plant, which towers will be 180 meters high, which will be visible from
all around
a circle of 50 kilometers probably.
And otherwise they have to use the water from the Westerschelde to cool it, but then they needed space for that to get the water in and to get the water out. So that's enormous, can have enormous damage to the fishes, to the water, to the ground in the Schelde. So we're very worried about what is going to happen here, not only for Zeeland, but for the whole of Holland, for the Netherlands. In the beginning there was very few protests. And in the newspapers of Zeeland, there stood, "Oh no, the people of Zeeland find this, everyone finds this okay, no problem at all. They accept it. They like it even. Oh, it's beautiful that they come here because we have more work.
Economy will go up.
The economy, etc., etc. Because but everything shows that's not the truth. And most of the people, even we too, now we are some months into it, but we don't know exactly what are the effects on the water, what are the effects on the land, how is the environment changing, and why are we still involved in using nuclear power instead of circular power,
Where should we buy the uranium? It will come from Russia again.
Yeah.
All the mines where the people are working in something where they get poisoned maybe by...
Yes.
Where will we store this?
And $2 also per hour or something
It's
like
terrible.
that. Yeah.
And most of the people don't know what is going on around just 2 plants, you know?
Yeah.
So there were some other people, and we made a group of people who protest and take action and put flyers in all the
meetups,
discussions. We go
debates.
to the major, to the provincial states to apply that they must rethink their action and their wish to have these plans here. So we're pretty involved all at once
in this.
This, because we think it's urgent that we don't have new nuclear power plants here.
Yeah.
And maybe for Zealand people, usually they say they are very, very zuinig, very looking at their money.
Yeah.
And nuclear energy will be more expensive than other energy. So it's even in an economic way stupid.
Yeah, and you talked to the mayor, you said. What did he say?
He was, first he said, no problem, the Zealand people, they love it here, bring this here, but now he changed a little. So I've been with a few people this week to speak to him again. And maybe we will get involved in making a group of making knowledge.
To spread knowledge more.
To spread knowledge more about what are the consequences of what they are thinking now. Because people don't know about these towers.
No.
And if a lot of people will know this, they will say, oh no, that's not what we want.
Mm-hmm. And also,
they don't.
And also tell them about the alternatives.
Yeah.
Because many people don't know what is the alternative. And the government, and they say, well, the alternative is not yet good enough. But
it
we can spend money and time to, it is. And it is possible to do it another way, so.
This will take at least 15 years. 15 years to get these plants there.
Yeah.
So these 15 years, nobody will change because everybody will think, oh, in 15 years, we're safe, we have energy again. No, start now, use that money now. Change now.
Yeah.
Not after 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Also on another level, it's good to be with a group of people because we're coming from the outside and now we get to know people from Zealand who are very concerned about what's going on, who want the same thing as us. So we are more embedded here because of Corona. We didn't have any possibility to, apart from our neighbors, to have a network. And now we're getting also a network on the things we believe in and we want to spread. So here on this slow ground of on this little ground of Zealand. So that's also a positive thing about the negative project we want to change.
And also if you involve people from outside Zealand, could that also be beneficial to your project?
Of course. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Very beneficial.
What could they do?
We will start probably in a few weeks a petition because we want as much as possible people to sign to be against this. So we will write you, no problem.
There is a group of
we're working on that. We're trying to get as much as people involved in this petition also. So a lot of groups like the Greenpeace and groups like that to involve in this petition.
You have WISE Holland. WISE is a group of they are getting into the scientific arguments about nuclear energy, and they also protest. So when people want to know more about it, they can go to the website of WISE Nederland, and we will send you the website of the group we're involved in, who's going to start a petition.
Yeah, please
and maybe you can spread it among
I can go to Codarts.
Yes.
There are 3 buildings, so let's see.
Yes. And I can, when you leave this afternoon, I give you some It's only in Dutch. That's a pity, but
No, it's okay.
okay.
Yeah, give me
Some,
like 2 flyers or
folders of
something.
Flyers, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and
Yeah, I thank you.
Via social media, we will start this petition. So yeah, we will use you also as a
Yeah, please send it.
spread it.
Great. Now that was a bit negative and also positive. Now
Yes.
Yep.
even more towards positive.
Yes.
You won an award for sustainability or something like that. You
Good.
told me you won an award.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
Yes, please tell me about that.
When we built the house here and we lived here, we got a call from
To the local government.
the local government.
They want to apply this building for a sustainability prize
of the year
of the year
Wow.
for Zealand.
for Zealand.
Great.
So we applied.
We were one of the 5. There were a lot of nominees,
Yes.
but the top 5 were selected, and we were one of the 5. So we had an interview in the local, in the newspaper of Zealand, and we didn't win the prize, but people liked. When we had the interview, we found out that they liked the story behind the house and the environment, and we had a lot of reactions from people in the neighborhood and around Zealand.
And we also did some. There's a group of people which opens their house, sustainable house, for other people to come here and look and ask questions. So this is a Dutch. It's all around the whole country. 1 week, 2 weekends, 2 weekends per year, and you can say, well, okay, well, I will open my house on Saturday. People can come, and so we did this a few times.
Wow.
That people come here and we talk and we show them the house.
Inform
And they
them
ask
about the
information,
warmth
just
pump and the solar
How
panels
it works.
and the wooden house, because they were starting to build a new house, or they wanted to renew their house in a sustainable way. And it was nice, yes.
Cool. Yeah, so what makes your house sustainable? Tell me everything.
There's no concrete in it.
Yeah.
So the materials where it's made from are also sustainable. The wood is bought in Finland. And we know it's bought from a factory that replants trees. So it's not taken, it's replanted.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of iron in it. No, there is as less as possible materials that take more energy than necessary or more CO2 than necessary. So it's built with mainly wood. It has a wooden roof, it has a wooden floor, which is not used. Usually you make a concrete floor, and concrete is not very sustainable. This house can be taken apart if you want, because all the things you can take apart and put it back together again if you want.
And you can move it to Antwerp.
Yes, if possible, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's built. So it has a 3-layer glass, for example. Yeah. So it's very well, how do you call it?
Insulated.
Insulated, yes. So it's a very thick layer of isolation. It has a floor heating, which then it's possible to use a warm pump, which is outside, and this pump will make the water about 30 or 35 degrees, which goes through the floor and gives us enough heating. It's all on electricity, it's all on the solar panels. Also for warm water, also for cooking.
So no gas?
No gas, no. not necessary. It has for the toilet. It has not riolering. What would that be in English? It's not connected to the local system of toilet water.
Mm-hmm.
It has its own system. We have our own system, which will go into one big thing, and then in another, and then into a how is it called?
In a tank, like a sort of
tanks,
tank.
yes. And
There you have bacterials who clean the water and put it into a ground, a field of riet.
Wait,
Read?
yeah. Riet.
R-I-E-T.
This? Ja. Oké. Ja. These are
Hoe heet dat in Amerika? Halophyten. It's a halophyte filter.
Oké.
Halophyten.
Halophyten.
With one L. Phyten.
I found it.
pH. Phyten. Filter. And this filter filters the water up to a level where it's completely clean again. And this clean water we bring back into nature. So this is a circular system.
Wow.
It's not circular in the way that we
Drink the water again?
drink the water again, so it gets into the house again, being used by the toilet or for drinking or washing. But we give back to the ground. Then it gets in the groundwater, and then we use it again.
Yeah.
We have, as much as possible, the water of the rain we will use for the plants.
Yeah.
But we don't, this is also very important to mention, we don't use the water for drinking. Because there is in the street, of course, the drinking water is there. And we can buy this drinking water at such a cheap level that it would be stupid not to use this. If we could use the water from the ground, but then we would need a lot of filters and a lot of tests to get this water drinkable.
Yeah.
And this is very, very, very expensive. So the water in the street should be more expensive because this is so good.
Yeah.
Level water, but it costs nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Strange.
Okay.
For growing the plants and putting the trees in it, we don't use chemicals, no artificial compost or things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Only yesterday our neighbor was going into the field where the horses stay, and he was spreading around the mess, the artificial
pesticides.
No, not pesticides.
Not the same.
Artificial compost.
Artificial compost.
Yeah.
to
Like
kill
little cords.
But we don't use anything. We just use bio composts or compost from our own compost heap.
Yeah.
Where we throw all our vegetable.
But it's also very important, the compost heap.
Compost heap. Yeah.
And it gets out completely composted.
Yeah.
And we put it under the trees or in the garden.
So it's also a circular process.
Mm-hmm.
All the things that we have from our vegetables, what you throw away, we put in a little basket. In the basket we throw on the compost heap, and the compost heap makes compost again, and the compost will be on the vegetables, and the vegetable will be, this is a circle.
I get it. Yeah.
There's a lot. We try to be. You try to make as much as possible circles where things go round.
We built a tiny house from all the things from the circus school from Codarts.
Mm-hmm.
So all the wood is coming from there. Also the doors and the glass and everything is
circular.
yes.
Also the floor, no?
Yes.
Also the floor, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, I think.
Your car also
The car also.
is electrical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that saves CO2.
The safe CO2, yeah. It's not, the batteries is still a problem. It's not too good to use batteries. But we have connection with a guy in Belgium, which for the future maybe we will have to use more batteries. But he has a system of batteries which contains no chemicals but salt water. So the salt water will contain your electricity and give it back to you. So the only negative thing about this thing is that they are big. So they're big containers of salt water.
Which you put in the back.
Which you put somewhere near the house, and then you can contain the solar energy of the day and use it in the night.
Yeah.
Because this is a problem in the solar system of a community, that you produce a lot of electricity in the day, and in the evening you need it, because then you start cooking or using your lights, and so the power goes like this. So it's probably in the future it's important to have the power more like this.
Yeah.
No big peaks
Or have big peaks, but in the big peaks you can store it somewhere so that you can use it. So you're not losing everything to the network. Or giving back, it's also good. But
Is it expensive to have these batteries to store them? No, you don't know.
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Probably as expensive as using a Tesla battery, which is smaller. Tesla battery is like this.
Yeah.
we are like planning to have a battery in a few years, because we are thinking about it and trying to follow. And now it's in a level that it's not useful to do it now, to buy it now, but we think in a few years or maybe next year, it's so far evaluated that we can buy something which can help us. And
this is not just a problem for us, but this is a problem for a whole of a community.
Yeah.
If we would like also to use the battery in our car to store the electricity we produce ourselves and to use it again.
Yeah.
you cannot. You mean you cannot give back the energy that you store in your car? You cannot give it back to the system system. No, you can only use it for the car.
Yeah.
It would be better to use some part of it also for bring it back into the house at night or in the evening.
Yeah, I think that's possible.
Okay.
It's already possible, but not with this car.
Okay.
Okay, I get it.
Okay.
Yeah. But we're looking into that. It's necessary in a few years to get to this kind of systems for everybody, because it will. We have a certain system of where we put this electricity through. So the cables are like this, but the electricity during the day, if you have solar panels, is enormous. And then in the night, it's nothing.
Yeah.
So you have to put something in between to get the level of electricity down a little, so that you don't need this kind of cables, but only that.
Mm-hmm.
That is a problem for
Makes
everybody.
sense.
Transformers.
Yeah.
Or something like that. What I want to tell also is that the way of building this house was also sustainable, because in 2 days the whole house stood here.
Wow.
And we had not an ongoing way of getting big cars in, driving from Utrecht to here, going back to Utrecht, next day come with another part, with the doors, etc. It all came in 2 days, because they made the modules, which it is built out of in a factory.
Yeah.
And it came almost complete here. So there were only a few men necessary after the building to make it complete. Put some wood somewhere. So that is in thinking of CO2. It's an enormous besparing. So that's why we choose these architectures to look in the whole process of how can we be so CO2 neutral as possible also in building the house. And we managed. Also, that was important for the sustainability.
Yeah, and the tiny house was also built with this sustainable mindset.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Yes.
Great.
Kees and our son were maybe 2 days in Codarts in the circus in Phoenix.
Yeah.
To get the panels out and the floor out and the materials out. And then we hired a big bus and we put it all in and went in 2 times. We got it here and then we started to rebuild this tiny house from all the materials from Codarts.
Yeah, this one you built it yourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, cool. Okay, now looking more into the garden, you already mentioned that you use compost to make it sustainable. You use this circular mindset. I want to know, how do you grow your vegetables and your trees here? What's your process?
What's the process? The process of the vegetables is I buy every year with a neighbor seeds. Which come from veld. It's in origin a Belgian society of people who want to grow vegetables circular, sustainable.
How's that called?
VELT.
VLT.
VELT.
Like that?
You know it?
Yeah.
And they buy in a big amount, so they have a lot of members. And they buy all together the seeds, and then you can buy them from them, and they get here in some way. And then I go into I grow them, I sow them in the glass house, and also with cocoa peat.
It's getting technical now.
But it's
you grow them there?
yes,
Yeah.
because in the first, just to be a bit more into it, in the first part of letting the seed grow, you don't want it to have soil in which stimulates to get leaves. You want it to get the seed open.
Yeah.
And start in an easy way to grow.
And the roots in a strong way.
And the roots in a strong way. Just first of all, you want the roots to grow and not getting into bloom and flowers, etc. But to stay there small, and then when you have two leaves, you put them in another soil, which is more richer. Yeah. So then the roots are okay. They can grow, and now you're starting to grow the leaves and the vegetables. So then they go in a different soil, and at some point you put them outside so that they can get used to wind and rain and different temperatures, because in glass house they are very at ease. And then you put them in the ground, and
that's also very strange to put plants outside, and then in the evening you put them in again.
Yeah.
Because they have to get used to being outside.
Yeah.
So you won't put them just from the glass into the ground. They will not survive. So you have to get them used to, okay. And then after a few weeks you think, okay, and now grow.
Yes.
So it's beginning of May about. Huh? Yeah. End of April you put them outside.
Beginning of May.
Yeah.
And then you have to watch and sometimes they don't manage because there's something not working. You don't know. Every year it's different. And we use to change where the vegetables grow.
Yeah.
So you don't put potatoes 2 times in the same
Yeah.
parcel. You also switch. Every kind of vegetable comes in it once in 6 years.
Oh.
And then it comes back after 6 years, 5 or 6 years. And you also use vegetables together or herbs and vegetables because they have a very good influence on each other, or they don't have, so you put them apart in another parcel, or you put them together.
Yeah.
Because onions and carrots are doing very well together.
Oh.
And so you have different.
Also to keep things away, like animals that eat your vegetables. You put some
Also?
plants in between to keep the animals away.
Tagetes and
Not to use chemical
wallflowers.
stuff.
Yes.
You use plants to help each other.
What plants
Basically.
do you put?
You have some. You have dille, which helps your beans to grow better.
Okay.
And of course, a bean herb is also good, but that's obvious because it's related to beans. Then you have
Tagetes you use.
tagetes. It's tiny yellow-orange flowers, which keeps.
Probably not this guy.
No.
Tagetes. Okay. Thank you.
And they keep.
What do they do actually? These
Yeah.
They
tagetes?
keep luizen away.
Yeah, lice, yeah.
Yeah, that's a smart way to grow it organically. Yeah.
There are a lot of these things are, of course, your grandmother had this information already because it is information that comes from experience.
Yes.
And in former years, when we were young, our grandparents would use these techniques, of course, because they didn't have the chemicals.
Yeah.
So they used the technique of knowing which things you would put together to have the best result. And this we are using again.
Yeah. I can also ask my grandparents about that.
Yeah, probably they will know things that will disappear. This knowledge will disappear because it's not necessary anymore.
Necessary anymore.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's coming back.
Yeah.
You see also in big farming that they are now coming to stroken, that they grow plants in small parcels and different plants in smaller, longer areas.
Yeah, but
Not
they
one
don't-
area
not
of
one
potatoes,
of-
not one area of onions.
but it's
a
very
small
slow.
parcel of
Yeah,
onions,
very.
potatoes, and carrots, because they help each other, but also it's better for the ground,
Yeah.
not to
And if
empty.
if you have one thing of potatoes, if one potato gets sick, your whole potato start is sick.
Yeah.
So if you have smaller areas, you need less chemicals.
And when we have the vegetables out, then we put some green, groenbemesters.
Big
No, it's just like clover, phacelia, and wikke. You put them in the ground. They are seeds. They're becoming green.
And Vika? Okay.
Like a green tapestry on the parcel. And
Lovely.
When you start your new year, you
Put it
split them under because they give nutrition back to the ground.
Oh.
So you first plant them, and when you start a new year of planting, you put it under the ground and it gives nutrition. And so we try to take out and put back again. We also give the ground rest in winter to get all the tiny small holes where worms and the little animals can feel relaxed and live and grow.
It's very interesting to see that the soil gets better. The longer we use it, the more it gets open. It's not tight anymore.
Yeah.
So it's better for plants, of course, to have a more open structure with probably the soil is more, there are more worms in it, there are probably more bacteria in it. So the system, the ecological system of the soil is already getting better because we use it not always in the same way. Yeah? This will help the soil to improve.
Yeah.
We notice already.
And do you put these plants like groen bemesters, do you need to put it in the crop or could be like anywhere in the land?
Mieneke puts it when the crop is out. So when you take out your vegetable, you put in the groenbemester. This will make some little plants, and then this will nurture the soil again.
So it's in between crops.
Yes. In between crops.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in the industrial agriculture, they do mostly monocrops. So just potatoes and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, it's not very good for the soil, I think.
No.
But you see more and more here around us that there are more farmers who are using on the big land also groenbemesters.
Okay.
Yeah. So they do mustard seed because mustard seeds are also very important as a groenbemester. Or phacelia on it.
Also, this takes CO2 and puts it in the ground.
Yes.
So this is also it's very, very, very good system.
And it's all natural.
It's all natural. Yes.
Yeah.
And first of all, when you are going to do this, you must get used to the slowness of the growth. Because when you buy in the garden shops, you buy already the little plants, which is okay, of course. Kale plants or carrot plants or tomato plants. They are somewhat, most of the time they get extra nutrition because people want to buy something which is looking already, there's coming already a tomato.
Yeah.
But that's not okay.
It's not okay when you put it here.
Because when I buy some plants there, then I see, here it's only like this, there's no paprika to see.
Oh.
But in the
shop, there's already a paprika.
You will see them with paprikas on it, so it's not possible. So you have to get used to another way of looking at it. Not to be, you have to be patient, to slow down and just wait and be careful and be zorgzaam. Caring for the ground and the plants instead of
wanting results.
Wanting results. And also accept that sometimes it will
not work.
You have disappointments.
Yeah. Great. Let's see. We went through all the questions. We are on schedule.
Wow.
The last one is, could you recommend a book or article or website that you think is memorable for you? About sustainability, of course.
What was good for me is to be a member of the Veld company.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of books from they also have books of all kinds of organic growth and plants in glass house, how to work with trees and fruits, and the Veld company was very important for me. I also had a lot of books. I learned a lot of. I got very interested in building in wood from tegenlicht that are from the VPRO. It's a broadcast company.
Yeah.
They have items which are called tegenlicht, and they are always going. The themes are also circularity, building in wood.
Are there any veldbooks here in Kees?
No. Jones, the new complete book of self-sufficiency. Yes.
Kees, op het kastje ligt, het staat onder de tafel en daar liggen we. En daar heb jij volgens mij nog appels en meer of zo.
And you said about this broadcast company, they have this Tegenlicht.
Tegenlicht.
Tegenlicht. What is that?
Tegenlicht is a
Cool.
program
Yeah.
in which they
Television.
a television program.
Yeah.
Now it's once a month. It used to be once a week, every Sunday evening. And they have very interesting programs about circularity, about healing the clove between the poor and the rich.
Yeah.
How we can take care of the earth, how we can how can we build in wood. That's already some years ago that I saw that program, but they are always taking two or three steps ahead. Innovative, interesting, opening your mind to other ways of thinking.
Yeah, I will check it.
You can do it blind. Times blind.
Yeah.
This is all very practical, of course. It's not the theory. It's not the philosophy.
Yeah.
This is more in the tegenlicht things that you will find more for us.
Did you read books about it?
No.
Chaos?
Wow.
It's more about the whole system.
Yeah, the whole system, yeah.
Yeah.
We have, of course, we have some friends who are also very involved in circularity and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's it.
Good.
That was really very
This
helpful for
was
us.
very helpful.
Many people ask when they come to visit us here and they know us
did you know?
from Delft, they say, how do you know everything about how you plan it with your garden, etc., etc. And then I always say, we read the books of Veld, and then you know enough to do it.
Yeah,
So this is for beginners.
for me,
So
yeah.
Yeah, so it's like this, you see, that's very nice because it has all the practical information and you can start. They have also a book for when you're not a beginner anymore, which is more, but this was very helpful.
Yeah.
Very practical, how big should the thing be? What do you plant? When? All the simple questions.
Well, thus being said, we end this interview.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for doing it.
Yes.
You are an inspiration to me. And now to Codarts also, because they will see the information in the performance.
Aha.
So, yeah, thank you.